Hello and welcome to the American Society of Regional Anesthesia and Pain podcast, ASRA Wrap. We have a fantastic show today. We are going to be talking about the upcoming ASRA spring meeting, ASRA Pain Medicine spring meeting in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is coming around in just a few weeks. We have March 31st through April 2nd in Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. That is right around the corner, and I can't wait to go to the meeting. So we're going to talk about that meeting. We're going to talk about the program, and I've got a fantastic panel to talk about some of the really unique things that you're going to want to see. Before we get into it, a couple of reminders here. So if you look up on the screen, if you're watching this, this is the annual meeting, March 31st through the 2nd at Caesars Palace. Make sure you use the hashtag ASRASpring22. That's going to be the common element for social media, and that's where we're going to put all of this stuff together. So we're going to talk about this program. I'm not going to go into details. We've got a lot of really important people here to tell you all the details about this meeting. The second thing I want to remind you about is this isn't the only thing going on at the ASRA Pain Medicine Society. We have lots of events coming up. So I want to make sure that you highlight this page, upcoming events, and look at things like these hot topics. These are online sessions that have phenomenal faculty talking about unique subtopics that may be relevant to your practice. And these are open to all members, so I encourage you to do it. They're focused towards trainees, but that doesn't mean that anybody can't attend. And they are filling up with fantastic lectures throughout the year. We have point-of-care ultrasound courses. We have cadaver courses, lots of really great stuff for this year, and a lot of it in person and a lot of it virtual, so you have plenty of options for anything that you want to do. Without further ado, let me bring the rest of the people on the screen here, and look at this. We've got Becky Johnson, who is going to be our program chair for this meeting, and then we have two of my fellow co-board members, Sandy Kopp and Nabil El-Kasabani. Dr. Sam Nowrouz, who's the president of the society, was on here just a second ago, and then he disappeared, so hopefully he'll be able to join us again. Becky, before we take a deep dive into the program, I want to mention two different sessions that are really important that people should pay attention to, and I want you to go to the websites that I'm going to put at the bottom of the page. One is the Stump the Chump workshops. The Stump the Chump workshops, there's two of them. It's workshop 21 and 28 if you're looking. These are specialty workshops that allow you to go in and talk to real experts in the field and get your questions answered. The things that you have been wanting to find out, they're there for your purpose. So you have experts at your fingertips that you can approach and get the hands-on experience for the problems that you have that you're working to solve. So I encourage you to go sign up for those. We've had these for several years now. They're really popular and get rave reviews. So I want you to go and sign up for those workshops. The second thing is we have a faculty development session, and Sandy and Sam Nowrouz, who's going to be on here in a second, are going to be doing these mentorship sessions. And I don't think we've ever done this before. I think this is new, but you basically get a one-on-one session with people who have had both very diverse and deep careers for a long period of time and can offer tremendous advice on how you can either start your career in academics and private practice or enhance your career if you're in the middle of your career, or where to go next if you're lost. So again, sign up for this session. I think you're really going to enjoy this opportunity to speak to them one-on-one with these people that I'm lucky to call my friends. So without further ado, let's get everybody back on here. Let me turn this banner off. And let's see if we can keep Sam on here. Hey, Sam, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I had technical difficulties.
And we've got Sabrina Okal with us too. Let me see if I can get her on. I don't know if she's got her camera or not, but Sabrina, if you're able to turn your camera on, we can have you join us that way as well. But I'm going to start with Becky first. Becky, first off, congratulations. 3 or 4 years of hard work are about 3 or 4 weeks away now. So you must be really excited about the program.
I'm super excited about the program, and super excited for you all to take the time to help me highlight the sessions as well. What a great opportunity to have two former chairs, our president, board members, and our resident section chair join us today to talk about how exciting our program in Vegas is going to be. I appreciate that you highlighted some of the opportunities and to help potentially reframe so the audience understands the great opportunities in the workshops. Those Stump the Chump workshops are a fantastic way to come in, get your questions answered, very approachable faculty. That's one thing that I wanted to highlight about the deliberate inclusion of individuals that are super approachable. I remember coming into ASRA myself over about 10 years ago, a little bit over, and to be able to visit with faculty members such as Dr. Greg Ligori sticks out in my head when I was just a baby resident to now to have him still included with me and be willing to be a moderator of one of the sessions speaks volumes to how dedicated the ASRA members and faculty are. And I hope as a part of the program that everybody feels that when they come to Vegas. That is what Vegas is about, is the approachability of the membership and the ability to come before, after, throughout the program to those individuals that you really just want to get to know a little bit better, or say, I just want to hear what brought you to that part of your regional anesthesia and acute pain practice.
So I want to toss it to Sam. Sam, I mean, we're coming through, and hopefully at the end of a very tumultuous period of time, and I feel like this meeting is a returning swan song for the society of a fully in-person meeting, really with the opportunity for everybody to get back together. Any thoughts on that before we dive into the program a little bit?
Yes. First, thanks, Dr. Gupta, for having me joining your group here. It's a pleasure to be among some of the practice people in the community. You are right. This is the first fully in-person meeting for the past 2 years. We had really successful meetings last year, but it was hybrid meetings. This is the first totally in-person meeting. So we're very excited about this opportunity. I'm more excited because I know for a fact that Dr. Johnson and her team, they put together an amazing meeting. She will go through it next. But I want to highlight that ASRA pain medicine meetings are special. I might be biased, but this is true. I have been to meetings everywhere. And the network, the connectivity between our members and faculty and volunteers are really unmatched. I don't see this in other meetings at all. There is an ample opportunity of mingling with your seniors, with your mentors, with your mentees. There is tons of time between lectures and panels for more network and even job hunting, if you want to say it. If you're a resident or a fellow, we have lots of opportunities, meet and greet. You can meet with potential future program directors if you're a medical student or a resident. I can keep going on and on. I want to give a chance for everyone, but I'm very thankful for Becky and her team and Sandy for helping a lot with this meeting. And as I said, this will be my first fully in-person meeting, so I'm very excited and a little bit nervous. Yeah, in a good way.
Good nervous. So Sandy, you've had an opportunity to mentor Becky, and then obviously call her a colleague now. And what are you excited about this meeting? I know you've watched her and helped shepherd her through this program. Give me one or two things that jump out that you really are excited about doing at the meeting, or a session, or a workshop, or something.
This is all Becky's meeting. She has done just a fantastic job with this. I can't even tell you how many hours she has put into this, the amount of work. She this meeting is going to be absolutely fabulous because of all the hard work she's put into this. I'm particularly excited about a couple of the sessions. Actually, one of them is one that I'm moderating. I might have had a little bit of begging and pleading to get this one, but I really, really am excited for the pro-con debates between Jean Viscusi, Meg Rosenblatt, Terry Horlocker. I just think that we are going to have, I think that those conversations are going to be absolutely fabulous. I'm going to make sure that as the moderator, we keep people on time, we keep them fighting fair, and I think
Good luck with that.
yeah,
Good luck with that.
I think it'll be great. Super excited for that panel. I think it'll be one of the highlights for sure. Yeah, we've got Kijin and Kareem. I've done a pro-con debate against Kareem. He's absolutely fabulous. He's so
Yeah.
charming. Doing a pro-con against Kareem is interesting and challenging because he is just an absolutely charming human being. So I just think that this is going to be absolutely a fantastic session. I hope to see everybody there.
Yeah, I'm in the other pro-con that's happening the day before, which also looks to be a great opportunity, except I'm still a little bit resentful that Becky put me up under against Kaiser Anyking, which is just mean. That's just mean.
And you've been so nice to me all the time.
I'm like, okay, I'll just swallow it and take the beating. But all right, we'll do what I can.
Kaiser
But
is another one of those absolutely fabulous, charming human beings.
I mean, how can you be even mean to her? You can't.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
that'll be fabulous.
So Nabil, I'll jump to you. I'm sure you've been, you ran the meeting last year, the spring meeting, and I know you guided Becky as well through what works and doesn't work. I've got one session that you're moderating right here on the top of the screen. What jumps out to you? I mean, I know Becky's made some of her own flavor to this meeting, but what jumps out to you at the meeting?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, congratulations, Becky. The program looks fabulous. Everybody's excited about going back to in-person meeting. Everybody's excited to come into Vegas. And me personally, I'm very excited about going back and just catching up with all our friends in person. Couple of things I'm excited about, especially in the program, the session that you just highlighted. Safety is in the minds of everybody. It's a big concern in our practice. And really, we are just diving into different aspects of safety based on the different practice. But one of the sessions that I feel it's really very near and dear to my heart, it is renal anesthesia and acute pain and how it can really improve the outcome of different procedures. So it is almost an all-inclusive session. We talk about shoulders, we talk about hips, we talk about knees, and the lineup is fantastic. Okay, we have Anahi Perlis, we have Kareem, we have David Ayang, and it's really the faculty. As I am looking over the faculty, really I am humbled to be in the moderator seat and just try to guide the discussion between all these people that I consider them. I'm lucky to put them into the league and look up to them. And really, I am really congratulations, Becky. The program is fantastic. One of the things also that I really like about that program, that I know that Becky especially and the entire society is taking to heart, is the diversity of the speakers. So the thing about now we have the old boys club and it's always the same people on the podium. You're gonna find the diversity of the speaker. You're gonna find new faces coming up to the podium. You go to the workshops, you're gonna meet new faculty. So there is a lot of vibe and energy that I can even feel. It's very palpable, and even 3 weeks out from the meeting. So that's because of all that, I am really excited. This is just some of the reasons why I'm excited about that meeting.
Yeah, it took me a second to find the session that you were talking about. It was this one right here.
Yes.
Procedure-specific anesthesia and analgesia evidence-based recommendations, and you guys cover a lot of topics in one session.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mention. It is my mistake. I didn't mention Christine Schreiber and Maggie Holtz.
Yeah, I mean it's a packed session.
Yeah, and it goes to tell you the spectrum. So you have, this is not only something that is very inclusive to academic practice, but it's very inclusive also of private practice, the private practice view of how we do things. I really think this is going to be a great meeting.
Now, Becky, I intentionally let everybody do their applause of your program first before I let you talk some more, because I do want to recognize all your hard work. Tell me what jumps out at you, because I know there's probably a few things that you felt inspired to change based on your experience of coming to these meetings. Everybody loves a lot of the meetings, but they always wish that they could do something a little bit better. What do you feel like you cleaned up and made a little bit more concise for us?
Great question. And I just want to thank everybody for their kind words. It's not without the support of all of you and support of multiple mentors and faculty in ASRA to make this possible. This isn't a one-person show as much as the accolades. Okay, keep coming with the accolades, but it wouldn't be for if Dr. Nuruz didn't give me this opportunity, I wouldn't be sitting here. And so I'm feeling fully supported by that. And his vision is throughout this, as well as the planning committee members, all of you on this call, and many others that weren't able to make it today. So what did I change that's a little bit different? Your program, Raj, Nabil, your program, they were fantastic programs, as was Jamie Barada's. I mean, how do you compete with already great programs? Well, what I did is I tweaked it just a bit. So I feel like regional anesthesia and acute pain medicine, as ASRA pain medicine has evolved, needs to be more inclusive of the pain management focus. And so rather than being very technically focused, meaning this block does that and this block does this, we tweaked towards a procedure specific focus, not only with that session that you highlighted just a moment ago, but also with our workshops. So our hands-on workshops have completely changed from being block focused to being, these are procedure specific analgesic options that also include blocks for shoulder, hip, knee, abdominal, spine, breast and thoracic, with faculty that are specifically targeted with knowledge to promote an understanding of how this is practically done and how this is realistically done. There will be pre-work for attendees that sign up for these workshops so that everybody feels that they have an understanding so that they can come on into these workshops, get their hands on the probe, and have the experts show them how to take it to the next level, which is one of my favorite parts of this program. And Dr. Ki-Jin Chin, who is the chair of our workshops, has done an extremely immense work to move us into this direction. And I cannot thank him enough for moving us in that vein. And then I do want another moment, just a bit of a moment, to talk about the deliberate diversity of the program. Thank you for giving us this chance to highlight how the approachability of diversity, not only from gender or those characteristics of race that is amplified on the program to be more inclusive, but geography as well as practice diversity. So perhaps we can give Dr. Kopp a moment to talk about our private practice panel, because we really want to bring in our private practice practitioners into ASRA pain medicine, part of that approachability aspect, but to know that we built a program that we hope you see how you can practice what you do and feel like whatever your resources are, you can bring regional to your practice.
Yeah, Sandy, you've had the unique opportunity of going from a truly traditional academic program at Mayo to working with these community hospitals surrounding Rochester and seeing how you can't do everything you can do at the big hospital, and you have to be more creative and often more nimble. Talk a little bit about how bringing these private practitioners into the fold and actually onto the podium is so important for this society and its members.
Yeah, I think that's huge, and it's something that I wish I would have recognized a long time ago. You know, Becky works in the same settings, and so I think she's done a really good job with this program to bring that home. You know, I think if we look at the members of ASRA Pain Medicine, I think a large proportion of our members fit into that group of people that don't work in academic medicine. That they're working out in these regional medical centers, and they don't have the resources that we have in these academic centers, and especially the resources of people, right? Of all of these people to have block consultants, block teams, residents to cover the pain service at night, all of these things. And so I think that this program is really designed to help those people to take out of it what they can. It's not all about, here, let's put in 8 bazillion catheters that aren't going to work in your private practice setting because you have nobody to manage them overnight. It's about how we can take what we do in one place, but maybe tweak it a little bit to make it work for you. And so I'm really excited to be a part of that. And I think I'm really proud that this program is designed to help those people, because I do think that they're they're probably the majority of our membership, actually.
And if they're not, they should be. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of anesthesiologists that maybe don't consider themselves primarily regionalists or acute pain physicians, but they do it a lot in their private practice every day, because that is how a fast-paced practice moves. Is you do a block on a patient, they get out of recovery faster, and that's an important element of keeping an OR flowing. So there's probably a lot of private practice doctors out there that are doing regional anesthesia, I would bet, at higher volumes than some of our academic colleagues, and maybe with less variety, but definitely with high proficiency. And so we need to be able to speak to that audience. I agree with you. So I'm excited to see that this is evolving and progressing in our society, and we're speaking not only to them, but from them. So we're actually getting them to speak back to us about their experience, which I think is so important. And for those of you guys who are interested and are members of the society, we have a private practice special interest group that's new. And a lot of these people that are going to be on the podium talking are active members in that group, often founding members of that group. And it's a great opportunity to find people who are going through the same challenges as you, but more importantly, to voice your concerns where our society, ASRA Pain Medicine, needs to move to fill the needs of that group of practitioners. So use this meeting as a launching point to meet these people, and then follow through with the special interest group afterwards. Sam, one of the things that I know that is on your mind a lot during the planning of these meetings is to really round out the meeting, so it's not just lecture. And art has been a big discussion, art in a lot of different forms. And I know one of our sessions is really taking that up a really high level. We have an artist coming and joining us at this meeting. You want to talk a little bit about that session? Or maybe, I don't know if you or Becky can speak to that better?
I think Becky
may know the details better.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I'll get into that, but maybe Sam, if you would please, will you highlight the gift we have of Dr. Levine coming, and a bit on your session with her?
Yes, we are very happy and pleased that Dr. Rachel Levine accepted our invitation. She will be our keynote speaker, and we will have a nice discussion. Actually, she's planning only to talk for like 15 minutes, and she's opening the floor for discussion for the next half an hour, because we figure out that most of the attendees and the audience will have lots of questions. she will be reviewing the most up-to-date data about the opioid crisis, especially with the pandemic. Hopefully, we're in the down slope now, but unfortunately, the two epidemics crossed, and it adversely affected the opioid epidemic. So all the advances, the good advances that we did over the past few years, unfortunately, they got reversed by the pandemic. So she will be addressing the numbers first, and then her vision and the strategy going forward. So I will encourage you to come prepared with the questions. We will have plenty of time for the questions. And I feel that this will be a big hit. And I hope you guys will attend and engage in the discussion as much as possible. So you talk about the architecture.
Yes. Okay. Well, great. Because I wanted to make sure we highlight, he says that was this opportunity to have the Assistant Secretary for Health come and spend time at our meeting is just profound, and it's a credit to ASRA Pain Medicine and our commitment as a society to address those two very important issues that are forefront in everybody's mind: opioid crisis and the pandemic and the intersection of that. To your question, Dr. Gupta, the artist. So Danny Quirk, who is a fantastic medical illustrator who uses latex to showcase anatomy, and in particular does these very elaborate paintings on human flesh or the skin, so to speak, to create the very anatomy that we target with our blocks. And so Danny Quirk is going to be joining for several sessions, but as a big part of what he's doing for our meeting is to be available to individuals to ask questions about how can I best showcase anatomy and get people interested in seeing what's beyond our needle tips. And so in our exhibitor sessions, we have a very enthusiastic volunteer who is going to be our model for a couple of days. And right in front of our eyes, Danny Quirk's going to create one of these artworks on a fellow from UNC. And with that, we're going to be able to see the different stages of how it takes to create this. There's a session in which we are all going to have the opportunity to work with latex paint and see what kind of artists we are and have a real professional judge. And then probably one of the best sessions, I think, to highlight that creative part of all of us is that whole concept of how does one describe and visualize pain. And so on Thursday afternoon, we have a special session on visualizing pain, scale of pain 0 to 10. And Dr. Stu Grant is going to be moderating with Danny Quirk and Dr. Jeff Gadsden, as well as Dr. Christian Schreiber. We'll be using evidence of pain, persistent pain evidence research, along with descriptions of pain through Danny Quirk's work. And so I know everybody's going to be in that session. I know I will be.
Yeah, this artwork is it's mind-bending. We see the anatomy in operations all the time, but oftentimes without context. And it seems to, the way he does the artwork, it seems to keep the subtleties, the details of the anatomy in context of the patient, which I think we have to be very mindful in pain management. We're joined by Ki-Jin Chin. Ki-Jin, how are you? We were just talking shortly ago about the workshops and the block packs and how they're focused on parts of the body rather than individual nerve blocks, so that we get a global assessment of how to approach a certain type of procedure. Any thoughts or comments about the workshops you want to share? I know you guys have done a lot of effort to make them into what they are.
Yeah, well, hi everybody. We're really excited about the workshop offerings this year. Becky's vision for having the so-called block packs, riffing off Rat Pack in Las Vegas was a great idea. I think, what we all want is to solve clinical problems. And, we're often presented with a part of the anatomy or a particular surgery on the body site that we need to treat. And so what we really want to know is the techniques that we can use to address that rather than studying the blocks in isolation. So I'm very excited about this. The other thing that we've done, which participants who sign up to these workshops will get to see, is for the first time we've put together a very comprehensive package of learning materials, which will help people to both come to the workshop prepared, but also to go home and review stuff to cement what we've demonstrated and talked about. And among that, we have some MCQs, but also case scenarios to provide a framework and context for discussing how you can utilize these blocks. And so with all of that, I think it's shaping up to be one of the best conferences in terms of workshop learning that we've had for a long, long time. So really excited.
Definitely increases the value of those workshops. People often ask about what is the value of going to these workshops and having that material. We've seen that in the point of care ultrasound course, that having that pre-learning material enhances the hands-on learning, both for you as an individual, but also as a team. Whoever's together, you're already ahead of the game by the time you get to the workshop, and I think that's really important. One other thing I want to highlight, and we didn't talk about it earlier, was talk about where pediatrics is fitting into the workshops a little bit differently this year.
So as far as pediatrics, we have provided some interactive sessions where Drs. Bareski and Bishwas and Suresh will be working through pediatric-focused problems, providing demonstrations, specific problem-based learning discussions of blocks that are really important to know, as well as how we can adapt these popular new fascial plane blocks in a way that will advance the care and treatment of pain for pediatric patients.
Yeah, I think that's a growing field, and there's definitely interest in sections of the population of anesthesiologists where we're realizing that we're underutilizing regional anesthesia for pediatric patients, and I think it's really important that we engage in that group of people, and it's great to see that. Becky, I'm going to toss it back to you. Any other really important sessions that you want to highlight at this meeting that you want to make sure people know about? I want to make sure we respect people's time. We'll wrap this up in a few minutes, so I want to make sure you hit the highlight.
Okay, I can't, it's like picking your favorite animal.
Well, they have to come to the meeting to see the rest of the good stuff, right? I see you got pages of notes there, and I'm not going to let you go through all of them just yet. And we can, if you can talk about them on social media, text people about that they should follow you on that and see what you're excited about. But I want you to just give them a teaser on it now.
Okay, well, the other thing is to make sure and highlight everyone on this podcast, as that's exactly the session I want to go to. But in all seriousness, I think it's important to highlight how much we've included resident and fellow programming with some specific mindful focus on bringing back the fellow and resident workshop and a full dedicated workshop to include the next generation of those that are going to be taking care of us, as well as promoting our specialty and advancing our practice. And so I want to emphasize with the time that is included, as well as a meet and greet and networking opportunities and mentorship opportunities, specifically with Drs. Naruz and Kopp, other ASRA board members, including Dr. Meg Rosenblatt, who is specifically opening the doors to inclusion of our individuals, not only fellow and residents, but also private practitioners that they want to have more information on how they can get involved and advance their career.
Yeah, I think that, as we've come to appreciate the need and the desire for in-person meetings, we're really going to capture that during this session. And I hope that people are feeling free to come. They're feeling ambitious to come to the meeting. But when you come, engage, be there, talk to us, find us, say hello to us in the hall. I think, are we still doing the stickers, the you can hug me stickers kind of thing? Are we going to do that this year where I feel comfortable, you can come say hi and give me a hug? I don't know if we're doing that or not, but we should. But give us a hug. Come say hi to us. I think we all like each other most.
I'll show you my sticker.
Sandy, you're going to get a hug. One way or another, you're going to get a hug.
Nabil will take all my hugs.
I think that group is just speaking, like, this is a disclaimer. Just come, give all the hugs to Raj. How's that?
We're going to have somebody stand next to Becky just to be her hug translator, just to take the hugs for you.
Yes.
But the feeling will be there, Becky. The feeling will be there.
New meaning to bodyguard.
Well, anyway, we are excited to see everybody. We're excited to see everybody in person. I think we all recognize the need for Zoom meetings and online sessions and virtual things, and we all made it work when it was hard. But really, it was no replacement for seeing each other in person, networking with people, getting that mentorship, going to those hands-on workshops, having the dialogue at the interactive sessions. There's so many opportunities, and the reason we didn't go through it all is because there's too many things. They're highlighting one really does an injustice to so many other ones that are so great. So go to the website, ASRA.com. You can look at the entire program down to the individual details, down to the individual instructors and speakers. I encourage you to do that. Register for the meeting and follow the hashtag ASRA Spring 22. That's where the conversation will be starting online before the meeting, leading up to the meeting, during the meeting, and even after the meeting, so that you can stay connected to these people. I love everybody on this call. I love all these people. I can't wait to see you guys in Las Vegas. I'm so excited for your meeting, Becky. I think it's going to be fantastic. And last word goes to Becky. Anything else you want to say to anybody before we wrap up?
Just a huge thank you to everyone on this podcast, everybody that took the time to join us this evening, and to all the ASRA staff that are making this possible. I cannot tell you what a bunch of hardworking group of individuals to bring this to you, and how grateful we are all for ASRA Pain Medicine and the family that makes it all happen. So thank you for the opportunity, and Dr. Gupta, your ability to do these podcasts and get us out and to bring us and hopefully make me seem a little bit more approachable is just you're a miracle worker. So thank you.
Oh, you're so kind. So everybody go to ASRA.com, register for the meeting if you haven't, sign up for the workshops, go find those little gems, Stump the Chomps and the faculty development sessions. You're going to miss out if you don't go to attend those. And I can't wait to see you guys in just a few weeks. Everybody be rested, because I don't think we'll get sleep for about 4 days. So I look forward to it. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
See you so soon.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Bye.